wasn't really very schooled, and he'd never been in a band before, and it wasn't like the rest of us where we could play anything. We could play any from a jazz standard to a pop standard. So my brother had just graduated from college, and we said, we need a bass player. He goes, well, I'm not really a bass player. I said, well, we need a bass player. Do you want to play with us? He goes, I don't know. What you got? What do you got going on? We said, well, we're going to get another record deal. We're going to shop what we did to back to Columbia or Warner's or somebody, and we have opening slot with Led Zeppelin in August. He goes, oh yeah, okay, I'm there. So he comes down, a week after he joins the band, and he's told the school that he was supposed to teach. He's supposed to be a student teacher at some school upstate, and he told them, I'm not doing it, I'm joining a band, blah, blah, blah. So a week after that, the gig falls through. And then we audition for Columbia, and the guy says, not interested, would pass.
Joe wants to kill you.
Yeah, he wants. So he's like, "What? No, Joe. He's a very positive guy. He's like, I've never been in a band that didn't make money. And come on, you guys, you were all great. Come on." So we hit the road. We played all the clubs. We played all over the place. We made money.
Is that in a van? Like what kind of?
Yeah. Chevy van. Big van. And he had a van too. So the equipment would go in the Chevy van, and the people would go with him in the Ford van. So. We traveled all around Pennsylvania and down to Atlantic City, and any Lake George, anywhere we could get a gig, we got a gig, and played mostly cover songs. We'd throw in some original stuff, and we played a lot on Long Island, and in I guess it was sometime in later '71 is when we did that audition for Clyde. We'd been playing in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, the night before we auditioned for the Suits, the first audition at Columbia. And well, here's what happened: is they had turned us down, and then we did some other audition too while we were doing all those clubs, and once again it failed. The guy loved us, but when he brought it back to the company, he couldn't get any enthusiasm. They were not interested in signing, another band from Long Island. So Sandy Proman, who he was not involved in booking us in any clubs or anything. He couldn't. That was too much trench work, There was too much common labor. But he went back to the record company, and he did some research, and he found out that there was this one guy that everybody was looking up to in the product management. And so he realized that, this guy went to Stony Brook. Okay, so, and he went, and it turned out that they had mutual friends, and he really he knew this guy, but he didn't know him that well. And so he was like, well, I've got this band. And he's like, well, we don't need we don't need another Dr. Feelgood, I mean, I don't know, what was it? Dr. Hook in the Medicine Show. We don't need, that's what he compared us to. We don't need that, we need something that's more along the lines of Aerosmith. It's like tough rock and roll, badass, or Black Sabbath. And so Sandy Proman's like, oh yeah, Black Sabbath. Well, one of the guys in the band is into them. That was me. He's into Black Sabbath. He's always trying to make the songs.
Because Bill Ward was at the swinging.
Oh yeah. Bill Ward. Yeah, absolutely. I cannot believe that they're dicking him around about this stuff. But anyway, that's another issue. I met Bill Ward. I know Bill Ward. He's a little funny, but man, he is a great drummer. Great. Terrific drummer, and I love Vinny. Yeah. Vinny is a sweet human being. He's both Vinny and Carmine, awesome drummers. But Bill Ward, it was like he brought another element to it. It's like Vinny plays what anybody would play. Anybody, they would listen to that music and say, okay, this is what it needs. Some really and Vinny can play so slow and precise and cool, but Bill Ward had that swing thing, and a slight unpredictability too. So anyway, so I love that. I used to practice to the
Well, you
Black
bring
Sabbath.
that. I think you bring that. You brought that to
Yeah.
the Cult Records.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean,
unpredictability.
yeah. It just you played that same fill, and now you're gonna change it up a little bit.
Nobody sounds like Albert Bouchard.
Yeah, well, as long as the guys don't look back at me and give me a dirty look, I know I'm okay. They expect a certain amount. If I make it too weird, it's like people that play like quarter note triplets in the middle of something, oh, I'm going to get crazy. I play quarter note triplets in this. And it's like, I don't know. Nah, you got to be slicker than that, But something that's different, that, you put the accent on, or you don't end on one. You play a fill and then you hit one and then you hit two. Or you end your fill on it with a tom-tom shot. Boom. No cymbal.
Yeah. So that audition then you did get called in.
Yeah, we finally, we set it up. This guy, Murray Krugman, who was our product manager, he set it up. He got all the right guys, the guys that were influential in the company. And so the only day they could do it was like a Monday morning, and we played in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania the night before. So we played like 4 sets, and till 3 in the morning, and then we go to sleep. We get up early the next day. We drive to New York. We bring all our stuff into this little tiny room that was like maybe a quarter the size of this room, and there's like 20 guys there, and we're set up in one end of the room, and we just played like a bunch of originals, and we played a Beatles song. Well, actually, a Beatles version of Larry Williams' Bad Boy. But the way we played Bad Boy was full of we traded 8s and then we traded 4s, doing the jazz thing,
Nice.
Yeah, so we do an 8, and it would be, first it was everybody, and then when it got to 4s, it was just me versus the band, and each, the piano player would play, 4, then I'd play a solo, then the guitar player would play 4, and I'd play a solo, the bass player would play 4, and then I'd play a solo, so it was, it was cool. They were upset, those people were upset that Bad Boy was not on the first Blue Oyster Cult record. They were hoping that...
The Suits.
Yeah, the Suits were a little
really
upset. Yeah, they really liked it. And
so by this point, you were renamed by that.
Oh yeah,
audition.
well, no,
because of the black.
No,
was it?
No. We were not renamed. We were still called Stock Forest Group, even though we were. Everybody knew that this is the group that we turned down 4 times before. So we didn't become Blue Oyster Cult until the day we signed the contract. We auditioned for Clive, and then a week later they called us in and said, okay, the deal is set. Well, it wasn't a week later. It was probably a month and a half, It was, actually, I remember now, it seemed like it was forever. Yes, Clive likes you, but, we've got to work out the legal stuff, and it just seemed to drag on forever and ever. And finally, it was like, yeah, we go in to sign the thing, and Sandy Proman and Murray Krugman said, hey, we have to have a name. We have to have a name for the band because we can't sign the contract without a name. And they had told us we had to have a name, and we'd been arguing for about 2 weeks, and everybody had their different favorites, and there was nobody's favorite that there wasn't at least one person who said, I can't stand that name. I hate it. So we finally gave up. We said, Sandy and Murray, you guys, you go in that room over there and don't come out until you have a name for us. You two have to agree. So they came out after maybe 30 seconds, laughing. And they said, okay, we got it. We're like, no, get back in there, come on. And they're like, no, you said, so we've got a name, it's a really good one. And we're like, what? Soft White Underbelly. Blue Oyster Cult. And we're like, what? That's the stupidest. And everybody, so that we were universal. We all hated it. Hated it. They said, come on, it's like Creedence Clearwater Reunion. It's like, it's, So, yeah. So that was how we got the name. And that was how we signed the contract, and that was that, When we...
What was that contract like? Was it a one album, or was there...
No, it was a 5-album deal.
Wow.
5-album deal, and 5 albums, one a year. And one every 12 months.
Was there any money at that point?
I think it was either $5,000 that album. Was the
per person?
No, for the album, for the whole thing, for the entire thing. And they gave us $5,000 for tour support to buy new equipment, because they thought our equipment was terrible, which it was suffering. We'd been using it for years already. It was the equipment we got when we got the Elektra deal.
What was your kit at that point?
At that point, it was I think it's a kit it's that kit over there. It's behind all that stuff. It's a Premier kit. It's a Premier
Blue Sparkle.
No. That's a toy. No. It's in those cases and then a road case over there. But that's the kit. It's a Premier kit. I bought it with the Elektra money when we were signed to. Well, actually, first I bought one kit with Elektra. Actually, no. You know what? No. I did. I bought it with the Columbia money. That's right, because I gave away my Ludwig kit. I had a Ludwig kit, and I gave it away. Yeah, because we played all these gigs. I had it all through high school, and when we got the Elektra money, I decided that.
Were you in England, by the way? Where did you? You didn't buy. You bought the Premiers.
I bought them here. Bought them at Sam Ash in Hempstead. But that was with the Columbia money, actually, yeah. Before that, I'd been playing a Ludwig kit that what it was a Ludwig bass drum that I bought, 20-inch. It was a Ludwig Acrolite,
which is everywhere now,
aluminum snare.
Everyone wants the Acrolite now.
I know. I used that on one song on the new record. Not the same one. I went back on eBay and bought one. I said, I want one like it. But, so I had that Acrolite. I had a Kent.
Oh, yeah.
A Rack Tom.
Poor man's Gretsch, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was horrible. But then, it had like 6 slugs. That was my Rack Tom. And then my floor tom, I bought a Ludwig floor tom. And I covered the whole thing. It was all different colors, so I took off all the covering, and I bought this stuff from Downbeat magazine, which was gold sparkle. This gold sparkle plastic. I covered everything in gold sparkle except for the Ludwig drum. But and I had those drums for a long time, and they were just the gold sparkle, the home. It was coming off. It was like all peeled up except for where the lugs were holding it together.
They've been around.
Yeah. So that's when I got the Premier over there.
And were these the drums that you used on? Was it all the records, or I read that some.
No, that's the Premier, the ones over here.
You used them on every Blue Oyster.
Every Blue Oyster Cult record, except for the live ones. I didn't take it on the road because for 2 reasons, really. And I didn't put this in my eBay. I'm going to take it off eBay because
Your kit's
I'm
on
not going to
eBay?
sell it. Yeah.